Hello and good morning, Year 1. Hope you are all safe and well. So this is your Thursday's literacy lesson. So this week we have been writing our winter poems. And today we're going to be publishing them, or sometimes we say present them, which means we're going to write them up in neat. But before we do that, let's have a look at your spellings. So we've been looking at suffix for this week in literacy. Who can tell me what is a suffix? In fact, turn to your grown up and see if you can tell them what is a suffix. Or can you give an example? Pause the video here and have a quick chat and then come back and check. Okay, so a suffix is a group of letters that can be added to the end of a root word, which is like a main word, to slightly change its meaning. For example, walk is a root word, and if I add the suffix ing, it becomes walking. So let's have a look at today's suffix. So today we are looking at the ist suffix. Now the suffix ist can also be added to the end of adjectives. Adjectives are describing words to compare three or more things. So for example, if I have the word, my main root word is cold, I could say Thursday was the coldest day of the week. So I'm comparing it. Okay. Okay, here's what I'd like you to do. Just underneath your learning objective for Thursday's lesson in your literacy books, I'd like you to add the ist to these words. So I don't want you to write a sentence, I just want you to write the word and include the suffix est. Make sure that you spell this correctly. It's on your video, so I'm pointing to it so you can see. So concentrating on that. So I would like you to have a look at my example. So I have loud. Simon was the loudest in the class. Now I want you to have a go at doing the following root words and see if you can add the suffix. Pause the video here and just spend a couple of minutes just writing your spellings, and we'll come back and you can check your answers. Okay, so hard becomes hardest. You can give yourself a tick as you go along. If you've not spelt the word correctly, I'd like you to write the word next to it, please. Dark becomes darkest. Quiet becomes quietest. High becomes highest. Bright becomes brightest. And deep becomes deepest. Okay, so our grammar for this week is apostrophes for contraction, which means an apostrophe looks like this. I'll just draw one for you on here just very quickly. And it looks like a 9, or sometimes it can just be like that, okay? So this is what the symbol is for an apostrophe, and what it basically is, it's when you're adding two words together but you take out a letter or a few letters to make a shorter word. Here are some words that can go into this squeeze-o-matic. Can you write down the words that should come out? So I have my examples here for you. So I've got are not, he had, she will, and I have. So I'll start you off with the first one. So here's my example. So are not becomes aren't. Have a go at writing the other three just underneath your spellings. Stop the video here and then have a go and then come back and check your answers, please. Okay, let's go through the answers then together. He had becomes he'd. She will becomes she'll, and I have becomes I've. Okay, quickly turn to your grown-up and see if you can tell them what is an expanded noun phrase, and can you give an example of an expanded noun phrase. Give you 1 minute just to quickly discuss your ideas and then come back. Okay, so an expanded noun phrase is where the noun is described in detail. Now, a noun is a place, a person, or an object that we describe. So we're using adjectives to describe the noun is known as an expanded noun phrase. So, for example, watch my video to get to see an example. Okay, so in this example then, the noun was goats and the adjectives were plump and juicy. And usually when you're writing an expanded noun phrase, you are using two or more adjectives to describe. So we use a comma to separate things that come in a list. Okay? So for example, let's have a look here. The muddy blue car. Now car is the noun in this example, and muddy and blue are the adjectives that describe what the car looks like. Now we use a comma, which is here, can you see? Okay, a comma to separate two or more things in a list usually. So when we are doing expanded noun phrases, I'd like you to include a comma. Okay, especially red and orange group, I expect to see that in your learning this week. So your task today is to present your winter poem. So this week you've planned your vocabulary, then you had a go at writing your poem, and then in yesterday's lesson you had a go at editing. And that means improving your letter formation, your spellings, and making things even better. And now today you're going to go back and look at your editing, and you're going to present, or sometimes we say publish, your winter poems. That means we're going to write them up in neat. Okay, and when we do this, what's really important, especially in year 2, is the letter formation. So as you can see here, I've got the alphabet written here. So I've got capital letters and I've got lowercase letters. And can you see how my letters are sitting correctly on the line? They're not under, they're not at the top, they're not hanging off in the air or in the middle. They're sat neatly on the lines. So what I'd really like you to focus on is looking at your ascenders and descenders. So ascenders are letters that are tall letters that hit the top line, which go up. So these are known as ascenders. And descenders, as you'll know, is the opposite. So for example, letters like g and r and y are all descender letters. So where they hang off and they finish off at the bottom line, okay, underneath the main line. So this is your middle main line where you're writing, but your letters finish underneath that line, so descenders. So looking carefully at those. Now in your book should be stuck some writing templates which look a bit like this. Yeah. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to copy in neat the work that you did yesterday. So where you've edited your poem, I'd like you to copy it up in neat. Remember where you've made the changes and make sure you're writing the correct words, making sure that your letter formation is correct. Now, I really would love to see your poems, your published poems. I'd love for you to send me your photos of your finished learning so I can see, because it's really hard for me because I can't see you and I can't see your learning, but I'd really like some photos to go on our Y2 blog. So it'd be lovely to see some photos. So if you could ask your grown-ups, I know they are busy, but when they have a few minutes, maybe they could send in some photos of your published work, and I can maybe show the children that are in school too, and Mrs. Duckworth. So, okay, I'm going to stop there, so I shall let you carry on with your learning this morning. Okay, bye.